What does it mean to be human? Arguably, that's one of the most important questions any of us can wrestle with. Viktor Frankl, the 20th century Jewish psychotherapist who was one of the best-selling authors of that century, once wrote this. He said, as the struggle for survival has subsided, this question has emerged. Survival for what? Ever more people have the means to live by, but no meaning to live for. What Frankl was getting at was that question of purpose. Does human life have a purpose? Is there something we were intended to aim at, intended to be, or is everything just randomness and chaos? You see, if atheism is true and there is no God, there can be no purpose to human life. We are just cosmic accidents thrown up by the forces of time and chance and natural selection. We are nothing more than matter and molecules and atoms. But of course, if that's true, some pretty drastic consequences follow. It means there's nothing wrong with treating our fellow human beings as if they were just particles. They have no inherent value or dignity or anything else behind them. Christianity, however, has always said something else. The Christian answer to the question, what does it mean to be human, has always gone back to the very first book of the Bible, chapter 1, verses 26 and 27 of the book of Genesis, where we read that human beings are made in the image of God. Now, those aren't just high-sounding philosophical language. The idea that we're made in the image of God is foundational. It's foundational for human value. It tells us why human beings have real value, irregardless of your gender, or your ethnicity, or your earning potential. All human beings are equal. It tells us why human beings have a real dignity, why you mustn't treat people as if they are just means rather than ends, why you need to treat them with love and respect and compassion. And it also gives a foundation for things like morality and ethics and human rights. All of those things in Western civilization have traditionally sat on the idea that human beings are made in God's image. Rip that idea out, throw it away, as some of our atheist friends are suggesting, and all of the foundations fall. But one last thought. Inherent in the idea of image is the idea of reflection, is built into the Hebrew word there in Genesis chapter 1. And it's the nature of a mirror to reflect the thing that it's angled at. And the Bible says that our lives are designed to be angled at God, and the mirror of our souls is designed to reflect God's glory. But if we don't point them at God, what are we going to put in his place? Arguably, we're going to make something like money, or success, or fame, or sexuality central to our lives. But if you build your life around that, you are ultimately going to be a hollow individual, because that thing will let you down. There's only one way, I believe, to deal with the brokenness, the scratches, as it were, on the mirror of our soul that often mean we don't reflect God. And that's to orientate our lives at the one who the Bible describes as the true image of God, Jesus Christ, who came into this world and paid the ultimate price for us, showing us the real value that God places on us, that our souls might be corrected and healed, our brokenness dealt with, so that we correctly reflect God as we were intended, as we were purposed to be.